Hey guys, it's Christina with Life is Christina B. I'm a Beachbody coach, wellness coach, and certified personal trainer. So I wanted to do a video because ever since I announced that I was pregnant, I've gotten a lot of people inboxing me, asking me how. Just because a lot of people are familiar with my fertility struggle from years ago when I conceived my twin boys, and they just kind of wanted to see how this one happened naturally. Now, I've been waiting a while to do this just because I wanted to make it really sensitive, just because I know this time of year specifically is really hard for people that are struggling through infertility. I've been there, done that. And I wanted to make sure to throw the disclaimer out that this is my personal story and the steps that it took for me, which I don't even know if you can consider them steps, in order to get pregnant naturally this time. Step back, for me to conceive the boys, it took almost 2 years of homeopathic regimens through for fertility treatments, and it took a while, and then we finally conceived my twin boys, who are now 2.5. Now, in that time, I did anything and everything you could possibly do, whether it's eat, drink, exercise, clothing wear. My husband wasn't allowed to take hot showers. He couldn't wear tight underwear, and he couldn't have a cell phone in his pocket. I did anything and everything they told you. I lived the life of infertility and tried to get pregnant. So I know how sensitive this is, so I really want to come from a place of sensitivity, I guess, or compassion. So this time round, I knew I wanted to have more kids. I've been very open that I wanted to have 1 to 2 more. I love being pregnant. This time hasn't been that fun, but I'm not complaining. And we hadn't gotten to the place where we could actually sit down and talk about it, because I don't think myself specifically was mentally prepared to go through the whole fertility route all over again, because that's what the doctors told me. I have PCOS and thyroid issues, so I don't ovulate. So for me to get pregnant would have been really hard. So I had jumped on the Beachbody train right when I was in the mix of the whole thyroid issues and not being able to lose weight and gaining weight when I'm trying to lose weight. And so I kind of just got depleted and threw my hands up, and I was like, all right, let's do it. So I jumped on that. I started drinking Shakeology and doing the 30-minute workouts. I wouldn't say my nutritional habits changed that much, because I'm a very healthy eater as is. If anything, I was a little bit more conscious, but food-wise, I've been pretty consistent all the way through. I started, like I said, doing the 30-minute workouts and drinking Shakeology, and a month into it, my normal cycle is about 4 to 5 months, and I would just spontaneously get a period. But even from that, I wouldn't necessarily ovulate. So my first month on Shakeology, all of a sudden I was getting a cycle of between 32 and 36 days, which for some people that seems like crazy and it still doesn't seem like a cycle. For me, that was super regular and kind of insane, and my doctor was really impressed. After that, month 2, 3, 4, 5, everything was still between that 32-day mark and 36-day. I was tracking it just because I'd become routine to tracking it with the whole fertility struggle. So I'm about, I think, 5, 6 months into being with Beachbody and drinking Shakeology. I don't know if it was something where my body, there were certain nutrients, minerals, superfoods, something that my body wasn't getting enough of, that Shakeology may have played a part. And I'm saying may have. I'm not guaranteeing any results through Shakeology. I'm just telling you again my story. But it may have put that extra vitamin, mineral, superfood, something in my body that I lacked. There is maca in Shakeology that is something that people use for fertility. I've done that before. But there could be something that your body just is missing or lacking. So you need that to kind of regulate your body. So ever since I started drinking it, my cycle started becoming regular. I started noticing around month 3 or 4 that I was fairly certain I ovulated. Now, I couldn't be positive, but I was fairly certain, and I was excited, and I told my husband, I think I'm ovulating, which means absolutely nothing to him, nor does he care. But so when I found out that I was pregnant, I had told him the week prior, I think there might be a way that I'm pregnant, and he completely shrugged me off. I've kind of been neurotic before where I say these types of things, but I was actually really serious, and I haven't talked like this in a long time. And he was like, okay, well, good job, little buddy, let's see you grow, and kind of just made a joke about it. I tested right on the day that I believed that I would find out, and that sucker turned 2 lines really quick. So I did get pregnant. I called the doctors right away. They got me right in just because I do have a history of miscarriages, infertility, and the fact that I was on a lot of medication through my last pregnancy to hold the pregnancy. They really wanted to make sure that I was on it this time. There is only one. That was one of my biggest things. I wanted to make sure there was only one. I was nervous of having twins again. I would be able to handle it. I'd be fine with twins again, but we just wanted one. But so that's kind of my journey on how I became pregnant this time around. It doesn't make much sense to me. It's completely out of the blue. It's completely out of left field. I will say, and again, I'm trying to be sensitive about this, but I'm going to be honest. We weren't trying. We weren't planning. We weren't anything. All the steps that I took in my first pregnancy with the boys to get pregnant, none of those were in play for this round. I had always said I would dream of the day that I could take a pregnancy test and just be shocked. That would be awesome, that I wasn't like pleading for it to be positive. So I got that dream. It came, again, it was very shocking. It wasn't planned. But I'm beyond fortunate, and I'm beyond happy and excited and floored that I was able to, as a woman, those of you that are struggling through infertility, you can understand that having your body naturally get pregnant and hold a pregnancy thus far is kind of really emotional for a woman, because it was something that I never thought I would be able to do. So again, my journey for the boys was complete fertility, complete heartache, complete, pleading, please get me pregnant, please let me hold pregnancy. And I have 2 beautiful boys out of that. This pregnancy was completely shocking out of the blue. I went from no cycle, not ovulating, to a semi-regular cycle and being able to ovulate. So I just kind of wanted to share that story, because the people that I have spoken to that are going through fertility and spoke to me about, what did you do this time that's different? I offered these words. Again, I'm not saying that one thing is going to get you pregnant. I'm telling you my personal journey and what happened for me that I'm extremely grateful for. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I hope you guys get a little piece of information. If you want anything to know a little bit more specific, a little bit more personal, feel free to reach out to me. I'm fairly open about this topic, and I know a lot of you have. But feel free to reach out to me, and I will give you any type of words of encouragement or things that have worked for me in the past and things like that. So have a great day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. I wanted to throw a quick disclaimer at the end of this. If you know anyone that is struggling through infertility, do not tell them that when they least expect it, it'll happen. Or if they relax, that it'll happen because they're too stressed and they're worrying about it. And if they stop thinking about it, it will happen. Or that the timing's just off. And that once the timing's right, it'll happen. Those things, I can't tell you how many times I've heard them. And I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to cause bodily harm to people for saying them. It's an extremely, extremely sensitive, emotional, mental situation women are going through. They're most likely on medicine that's making them even more hormonally crazy. Can I say that? Hormonally crazy. So be sensitive about it. A lot of times, yeah, you can ask questions. In that instance, be sure that you're prepared to get a mouthful of information back, because those of us that have struggled through infertility can pretty much tell you every step of the way that they're in, and you might hear the whole path. But just be sensitive about it. It's something that's really, really, really hard, especially this time of year. So don't tell them the things that I mentioned before. It's probably the worst thing you can say. I know you're trying to give people hope and encouragement, but it's really, really deterring. So I just want to throw that disclaimer out for those of you that have struggled through infertility, that if people say this to you, I got your back. So have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.